Your host Jay and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot, on intellectualradio.com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! Guys, welcome to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And guys, I am so glad to be back. I have missed you all so much. Gosh, thank you so much, guys, for all of the prayers, for the messages, for checking on us and making sure everything was okay. I thank you guys so much. Please do me a favor, you guys. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio, and J is spelled Jaye for all three. While you at it, go right around the corner. Go to YouTube. Boop boop boop. Like and subscribe our channel. You can go to www.thejspot.com for our YouTube channel, and then go to TikTok. Like and follow us there. The J Spot, again, J is Jaye. Guys, listen, I am excited to be back. For those of you that don't know, I have been out for, listen, it's been like, ooh, I can't tell you how long. It's been over a month since I've been here in the studio. And I just want to say I thank you guys so much. I've missed you all. For those that don't know, one of my nephews, unexpectedly passed away at the beginning of July. And it has been a crazy downward spiral emotionally. It's just so much that my family has been going through for the last few weeks. So it's been really rough. Young guy, still trying to figure out what the heck happened. But thank you all for all of the encouraging messages. Thank you guys for just, sending the funny stuff through the messenger, poking and posting things, and just, striving to, lift my spirits and keep me, in the game. I thank you guys so much for doing that. Definitely appreciate it. Appreciate all of the prayers and everything. So I want to say this, guys, though. Listen, before we get started tonight, listen, I want to just kind of reiterate how important it is to have your business affairs in order, because, guys, when I tell you funerals are extremely expensive, make sure your people are covered. Make sure they have the proper insurance. Make sure they have the proper amount of insurance. Listen, I know my dear num got insurance policies on everybody, but let me tell you, the cost of funerals have gone up. They go up. So you just want to make sure that you have the correct amount of coverage, because that $5,000 policy that Medinum got back in 1988, it won't even buy a plot at the cemetery. So I'm just saying, it won't even buy a plot. So you definitely want to make sure that you have the proper amount of insurance, life insurance. And then here's the thing, like, get it, like, the sooner you get it, like, the earlier, the better. And here's the thing, at this point, any amount that you're able to get is better than not having anything at all. So I just want to say that. So even if you can't afford, $100,000 policy or whatever, all these, get something, because something, again, is better than nothing. And again, at the way that these things, the prices and everything are increasing, I would say, depending on your family size and, just your financial constraints or whatnot, you know a 50, at least you need at least a $50,000 policy, at least, because once you're done paying for the funeral, if you walk away with $500, listen, that's going to be, to pay off whatever else is, business affairs that your loved one has to take care of. So just definitely make sure that you have that information. And if you want to, talk to some good and reputable insurance agents, then let me know. And I'm gonna have some agents come on within the next couple of weeks so that we can definitely get you all in contact with them so that you can make sure that you have the appropriate amount of coverage for yourself and your family. And again, if you got small kids, listen, get them kids these policies now. Get them now so that when they get older, they'll already have it. Like they have some phenomenal policies that the younger you get those policies, when they get, listen, by the time they graduate from high school, those policies will be paid for and you won't have to pay for anything else. Like they'll still have a full-fledged policy that you paid for, since they were a little kid. So definitely the younger the better. So definitely look into that for your family, look into that for your kids and everything, but make sure that you have the correct amount for yourself. Make sure that somebody knows what's going on, because listen, a lot of us, we like to hide stuff and keep the policy over here. Don't nobody know nothing about your business, and then you pass away and listen, everybody got to go on a scavenger hunt trying to figure out what you got going on and trying to figure out where your stuff is. So let's make sure that, we're having a conversation with somebody. And I know that, we don't like to talk about death and, and funerals and things of that nature. We don't. It's not it's not the most fun, it's not the fun topic to talk about. But at the end of the day, when you're facing something like this, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you this real quick. You're going to learn that if something, listen, when it regarding death and funerals, it's emotional to the people that's going through it. But them piranhas, them financial piranhas that you have to deal with when you go in these funeral homes, and listen, baby, they care nothing about your tears. They care nothing about anything emotionally that you and your family may be going through. Run them their money. Amen. That's it. Run them their monies. Listen, the preachers too, okay? Hey, listen, people don't bury your loved ones for free, so just know when somebody dies, everything costs. It costs. It costs for the people come there to cry. Everything costs. So just make sure that you have your affairs in order, and man, just don't get caught without, making the necessary arrangements and making sure that somebody knows your wishes. But guys, again, thank you so much. It's so good to be back. Have so much to talk about. Please do me a favor again, guys. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And J is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop, go to YouTube, like and subscribe our channel there. That's the jspot.com. And then go to TikTok, like and follow us there. That's the J Spot. Again, Jaye. Guys, listen, turn on the notification bell for all platforms. I am glad to be back. Glad to be back. Listen, it's been a lot going on. It's just in the world, period. But let me just ask you all a question really quickly. What happened? Now, did we cancel Maxwell? And did nobody tell me, is Maxwell canceled? Did the culture cancel Maxwell? Because I went to see Maxwell at the festival, and baby, the whole crowd just got up and started walking out as Maxwell was performing. And I'm like, okay, it wasn't just one or two people. It was thousands of people just getting up and just walking out the festival. And I'm sitting there looking like, okay, did we cancel him and nobody told me? Like, what? Do we not like Maxwell anymore? Are we not rocking with Maxwell? So somebody please tell me, because the folks in the audience, they were booing him, and they were like, you're boring and all this and that. And I'm just like, listen, and he noticed it. I'm going to tell you. He stopped and he asked what was going on. He was like, is it the sound? Is it the bass? He was concerned about what was going on and why people were, walking out. Baby, them folks in the audience were like, listen, you're boring. I'm just like, oh, you're saying that to Maxwell? Listen, Now, look, don't do Maxwell like that. We are not going to, we can disrespect a lot of people, but Maxwell is not on the list to be disrespected. So I just want to know if we canceled Maxwell. And if we've canceled Maxwell, why did we cancel him? And, because I want to know, like, I want to know the details because, listen, you all, them folks down there, they went, when I tell you they went in on Maxwell, they went in. Amen. They listen, they were not playing any games. So somebody let me know why we're mad at Maxwell so I can go ahead on and jump on the bandwagon and make sure that we are all on one accord. But I heard that, a little birdie was saying that, he done came out and like he playing for the same team, which, listen, listen, in this industry, listen, nobody, I'm not surprised by it. I'm just not surprised. Not saying that it's true. I have no idea, but that's just what the little birdie on the street was saying. That's why people are upset with him because he made a certain type of announcement prior to his performance, and then people started walking out at that point. Again, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why did we cancel him, and if we did cancel him, I just want to be on the same page as you all. I don't want to be sitting there, baby, these people walking out and I'm sitting there just, got my camera ready and I'm ready and I'm just like, wait, what's going on? Like he just, like literally he had just got on the stage and he hadn't been on the stage, I don't even think 10 minutes before we were up out of there. I mean, I left because my party was leaving. So I'm like, okay, well, let me get my dumb butt up before I be needing to ride with Maxwell. I be trying to catch a ride with him because everybody else done left. Everybody else done left the stadium. And I'm sitting up here just like he is, just as lost as he was, trying to figure out where did he go wrong. I'm like, where did you go wrong with this, with your pretty wings? And what happened? Why are we not rocking with Maxwell? So somebody just, again, let me know why we not rocking with Maxwell. But until then, listen, guys, listen, our first hot topic. Now, what do you guys think about this? Are we breaking up with people or not dating or pursuing relationships or going forward with relationships with people based upon their zodiac sign? So if you meet somebody, listen, and you're vibing with them and you guys are connecting and the chemistry is there and you think that they're a great person and they're feeling you and you feeling them, and then you find out that you guys have a sign that is not compatible, are we leaving these people? Are we not talking to people really and truly because of a zodiac sign? Like, how many people have broke up with someone because they said, they're the opposite signs? Oh, I'm a water sign. You're a land sign. My sign don't. Listen, somebody told, I ain't gonna lie, years ago, somebody told me that. Oh no, you're an Aquarius and my sign is not compatible with a Aquarius. I was like, huh? I mean, what? I'm like, I don't even, I know my sign, but I don't know what does being an Aquarius have to do with us not being compatible. I'm like, we're not compatible because you're crazy. That's why we're not compatible. Has absolutely nothing to do with the zodiac sign. You are crazy if you're sitting here telling me that, oh, well, I can't talk to you because our signs, we're not compatible. A grown man told me that. A grown man. I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me. And I wish I was making it up, but he was dead serious, baby. And he did not talk to me because I was an Aquarius. I wish he had said, I think you crazy or something. Something would have been better than you telling me, I can't talk to you. You're an Aquarius. I don't my sign. And I don't even remember what sign he said he was. I have no idea what sign this brother even said that he was, besides bipolar or something like that. But really, are we not talking to people based upon their zodiac sign? Have you met somebody and you guys connected and it was good? It was like good chemistry, good everything. have you guys said, you know what, listen, no, we're not doing this. We are not doing this because you are just too much. You are too much because of your sign. So I can't deal with you. Our signs, the stars says, the numbers say we are not compatible. Now listen, I'm not getting down on anybody. If this is a spiritual belief that you have, rock out. I'm not getting down on that. I'm not questioning your religion. I'm not questioning your belief, but I am going to give a little pushback on those zodiac signs, because how do we group everybody that is born under that sign? How do we group everybody into that one specific category? Like, somebody got to help me understand, how do everybody that's born under the sign Aquarius or Pisces or Virgo or Cap, how does everyone fit into that melting pot of supposed behavior? So somebody got to let me know, how do we all fit in that one category? How do we fit in there? So, because I don't understand. If I'm not going to talk to you, listen, it's so many reasons, and it's so many other petty reasons, because I can be petty from time to time. Amen. I can be petty. Bless my petty ministry, because I live on Petty Island. So if I'm not going to talk, listen, I'm like, listen, why you stop talking to him? He was so nice looking, because he had slob that formed in the corner of his mouth, and it was annoying, and it was driving me crazy. That's why I stopped talking to him. That's why. So I have tons of petty reasons that I believe are legit for me. Tons of reasons. I'm like, I can stop talking to you because when I look at your hands, look at your fingers, you bite your nails, and you've bit them to the point where it's just nothing but nub and skin. To me, that tells me that you got some type of psychological issues that you need to deal with, that you need to probably talk to a professional and have that stuff addressed, but you're not. So what you want me to do? It's so many petty reasons. But to not talk to somebody because of their sign, because of their astrological sign, and especially if you're, so here's the thing, if you got two believers of that astrology and they both agree on that, I agree, you guys should not be together. You guys should not be talking, because you both agree that, your signs are incompatible. But if you got somebody that believes in the astrology, and then the other person does not believe in it or have no idea on what you're talking about, and you still morph them into that category, I think that's a loss on your behalf. And I think that, that's, to me, it's immature. If you are dealing with somebody solely based upon the astrology, and the other person does not believe in that. So I don't understand, how do we, oh, we're not compatible because the sign says this. They don't believe in that. They don't believe in what you're talking about, but you still, again, morph them into that. And I'm okay. Like I said, listen, people have to do what they have to do, but I just think that it's unfortunate, and that people miss out on good people because of belief, or because you're stuck. You're stuck like in this one box. You're stuck in this. And so now there you are. Like, you miss out on good people. So if you're a person and you've met somebody good and they treat you right and they want to be with you and they're locked in with you, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up because you sitting up here like, oh yeah, they're a land sign, or I'm a bird sign, or I'm a lion, or what, and lions and water don't mix. I'm like, huh? Lions and water don't mix. I'm like, listen, me and you in this conversation, we don't mix. Now, that's what does not mix. This foolishness right here that you're spewing, that's what does not mix. So if you find somebody and y'all both on the same path and y'all on the same wavelength, chemistry is good, conversation is good, y'all both feeling it, do not throw away people, and do not throw away something that could potentially work in your benefit because you feel like, oh, this a earth sign, this I'm a water sign, I'm a this, I'm a that. Look, because it's just not gonna work. And speaking of not going to work. What do you all think about this? This young lady says that she can only deal with and only date men that were raised in a two-parent household. She says that I cannot date a man raised by his mother. What do you all think about that? Does this lady have a valid point in saying that? Like, she's like, yo, I cannot date a man that has been raised by his mother only. I cannot. It does not work for me. I can't do it. I need a man that has been raised in a two-parent household. If he has not been raised in a two-parent household, I cannot and I will not deal with that man. What do you guys think about that? Does she have a valid point in saying that? Does she have a valid point saying, listen, I think that it's better for me, to date somebody that comes from a two-parent household versus a man that has been raised by his mama? Because here's the thing, a lot of times, listen, we're going to be honest, a lot of times, I do believe a lot of times that there is some truth to that statement, because here's the thing, coming from a safe, a healthy two-parent household is the absolute bomb. It's the absolute bomb, and it's the absolute ideal situation that you want to meet somebody in. You want your person to come from that. You want them to come from something healthy and something stable and something healthy in that order. You want them to come from that. But if you're strictly saying that, oh, I only date people from two-parent households and I don't date men that were raised by their mothers and things of that nature, I can get that too. But if the two-parent household is a toxic household, I would prefer to deal with somebody that came from a single-parent household that is healthy, that has instilled in them healthy values and healthy morals, and they know what to do, one parent versus a two-parent household, and those parents are, I'm just here for the kids, and then they're arguing every time, they're bickering and all kinds of foolishness. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Michelle, she's saying, I understand where she is coming from, but she is limiting a ton of her options. I totally agree with that, Michelle. You're limiting yourself, and again, if that person that you're dealing with, if they came from a two-parent household, but let's say the two-parent household, listen, there was no love there was no communication. The only thing that you had the benefit of having was two parents in your household. That's the only benefit that you had in that situation. You got to see both of your parents in that household, but you didn't see a healthy exchange of love. You didn't, witness and grow up in a healthy environment. So if you're saying, I would kind of just rephrase that like, okay, I only want to date men that came from healthy two-parent households, or just I would only want to date a man that came from a healthy household, a healthy family. So I wouldn't even put it on. I'm not going to, like Michelle was saying, limit yourself to just people from a two-parent household, because listen, we already know in the 70s and 80s when the CIA dropped off that crack cocaine and they put all this issue in the black communities, we know what happened to the black family. That's what happened to it. For those that don't believe that statement, we can argue about this later. Do your research and then we can come back and argue about that. But so it's kind of unrealistic, and it's sad to say we got to get back to the point where we are building our families like that. We got to get back to the point where we are building happy, healthy two-parent households. But at this point, you definitely will be limiting yourself because it's a lot, it's a lot going on. There is definitely an attack against the black family. We're going to have to be honest about that. A lot of people are not ready for that conversation, but there's an attack on the black family. So we definitely have to recognize that. But if that is one's personal preference, then my thing is this: rock out. I'm not trying to tell you what doesn't work for you. You have to do what is best for you. And if dating men from only a two-parent household, if that's what works for you and that's what you need, by all means, you got to do what works for you. But as for me and hopefully the rest of us, we want to deal with somebody that just comes from a healthy household. Let's check the health. Let's check the mental health, the emotional health. Let's check that, and then we can work our way back to building and rebuilding healthy two-parent households. Because right now, again, let's just be real. It's the attack is on, and making statements like that is only going to further push us apart as the Black family. Is going to totally constantly push us apart because we're making statements like that, and these statements are designed to pit us against each other. So it's like we got to be careful when we're making statements like that. And speaking of making statements like that, now listen, you all, what do you all think about this? This man, he says, ladies, if sex is going to be a chore for you, why do you push men into monogamy? Why do you push monogamy on men? Husband puts his wife, why do you push that narrative? If you're going to you get him, listen, baby, before y'all got married and you got this brother, you were swinging off the chandeliers, you were doing backflips, you were doing everything. You blew this brother's mind, blew his mind. And then you get him, now you stop. You was freaking this brother up and down. You was turning this brother every which way but loose. You were doing that. Then you got him. Now you don't do that no more. Wait a minute. You cannot be out here doing it to him outside and doing all this other stuff. And now he marry you. Now, babe, I ain't in the mood. Now, I ain't in the mood. You was all in the mood, though, at first. See, I'm with the brothers on this. You cannot be sitting up here having these brothers all happy about doing it to you and being with you and marrying you. And then you sit up there and you play them to the left. Now you want to put that thing up. Now you want to act like the thing you ain't giving it out no more. Baby, when you was single and trying to, snag him, you was passing that thing out like it was Halloween candy. Now you get him. Now you didn't. Now you didn't. Now you can't do it. Now, oh, babe, I'm tired today. I'm tired. Okay, listen. So I'm with him. If you gonna get him and then you gonna lock the sex down, you don't deserve. Listen, he got to go and be able to do it somewhere else. He should be able to go and do it somewhere else. If you not gonna be doing it to him, he's gonna do it. He should be able to go and do it somewhere else because you tricked him. You tricked that brother. That brother thought he had a freak in you because that's what you was showing him. You was the freak. Now you done put him in a situation in which he didn't ask for that. You got him in a crazy situation. You got him in his marriage that don't have the freaky sex that he signed up for, that you was giving him before y'all got married. You done changed that. Now you have changed that whole narrative as far as giving this man the juice. So listen, if you're not going to do it to him and be nasty with him like you was doing, then don't try to marry that brother. Listen, what y'all got to say about that? Because we can't go, oh, he man, listen, you doing all, listen, he don't need no other hookers because you was hooking for him way before y'all got married. You was hooking, and then when you was his hooker, and then when he said I do in front of him and his family and everybody there, and listen, we all happy because he done got married and all this and that. Now you stop being his hooker. Now you got him outside on the prowl for some other hookers. So you better keep being his hooker, or he gonna go find some other hookers. So don't sit up there and oh, I'm changing. We busy and we got all this and life is this. You had all that going on when you got him. So you gotta keep doing the same thing or keep it interesting. You can't sit up there and this goes both ways. Like you can't expose a person to something and then you once you get them now you want to change them. Now you want to change. Now you want to change the rules. But this is not what I signed up for. The course that I signed up for included you having hooker type behavior. Now you don't want to have hooker type behavior. Now you want to be Miss. You want to be Mary Poppins. You want to act like you just look. Just the virtue is all over you, and that's not what he married. That's not what he wanted. You have deceived this brother, and he should be able to get a refund. He should be able to go back down there and tell them, you know what? This lady is a fraud. She is a fraud. She lied to me. She deceived me. This lady is a fraud. Pretty Tasha, you saying, oh, Sparkle, she said, wait, Michelle is saying sex is never a chore. Sparkle is saying, oh, I got a headache, LOL. Absolutely. You got all of this stuff. But listen, when you were single, you didn't have a headache. You was out there, listen, you was wearing the hooker pumps that he liked. You was doing, listen, you was on, listen, you was watching Pornhub with him. You learned some of your best tricks from Pornhub. Now you got too much work to do. Now you got this and now you got that. If you don't keep hooking for him, another hooker will. I'm just going to tell you, another hooker will hook for your husband. Another hooker will hook your husband like you hooked him. So let's not be, look, don't be doing the brothers like that, okay? We cannot be doing these brothers like that. And then you expect him to remain faithful. What is he remaining faithful for? One of the benefits that he married you for. And you took, and that was a big benefit. And you took that away from him. So how do we take the big things that they look for? And listen, they love you and all that. Don't sit up there and give me that. Oh, he's just thinking, well, sex. I'm more than sex. Listen, don't go with all that. Listen, because you weren't thinking about I'm more than just sex when you was trying to hook him. So don't go and bring them. That's all he seemed to want. Well, you was giving, you didn't have a problem with it when you was trying to get him to marry you. So don't sit up there and now try to complain and act like it's not important. If it wasn't important, then you would have been doing all of that hooker type behavior that you were doing when you got him. So we're not going to do that. We just going to keep on. Listen, if you started off hooking to get him, keep hooking. Okay. That's just it. Keep hooking to keep your husband hooked to you. Because again, what you won't do, another hooker will. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You're listening to the J Spot, where we're strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Yes, listen, what you won't do, loving you, another hooker will. You can't listen. We get up there. I can't do the okay. I got a headache. Oh, I got so much work to do. I gotta be in. I'm tired. The kids need this. The kid. You had these same situations going on when you were trying to hook him, but you found time to do it. So if you find time to do it when you were chasing him and trying to, get them all riled up and hooked them, you got to keep doing the same thing. Because again, I get married and you doing a certain thing and then you stop doing that. If you think that I'm going to just sit there and we gonna just act like we wasn't getting crazy and stuff, I'm gonna have a big problem. That's just gonna be the situation. We're gonna have a huge problem because I'm gonna want to know, have you lost your everlasting mind? So you want me to be faithful and you want me to stay right here, but now you're not doing all of the stuff that you used to do when we got together. Like, just keep on doing the nasty stuff that you was doing and then everything is gonna work out. But if you stop doing that, then they should be able to go and have somebody else. Because again, what are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? I say a hooker, I'll say they hooking. You gotta have a hooking spirit. If you had a hooking spirit to get them, you better have a hooking spirit to keep them. But again, I'm with the brothers when they say, how do you get me to marry you, and I'm monogamous, and then you cut the sex off. You cut the sex off. I didn't sign up for the sex to be cut off. That's something, that was a choice that you made. I'm looking for all of the sex. Sex from you and sex from whoever else. I'm looking for all of it. If that's what you marry these folks, you can't cut their sex off and then think that they just, what are they supposed to do? Yes, I know that there are roses and toys and all that other stuff, but what do the pocket hoochies and stuff like that for the men? 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot, and J is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop. Go to our YouTube channel. That's thejspot.com. Like and subscribe to our channel there. Go to TikTok. Like and follow us there. That's the J Spot again, guys. J is Jaye. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Grown and Sexy Conversations with the J Spot. 30 and Up doing us, Tyson Smith. 180 Real Talk Chicago. Thank you so much, everybody, for rocking with us. I really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, I'm back. Man, I've missed you all. Let me tell you, listen, if my voice goes out, I've been getting hoarse ever since, I've been under a lot of stress, guys. Everything that's going on with my nephew passing away and everything. So my voice has been going in and out. So hopefully I don't get hoarse within the time, talking, because I hope I just don't get hoarse, but I kind of feel it coming on. So guys, if I do, bear with me, because guess what? I'm going to talk so much stuff. We going to get through it. Some of y'all are going to wish, think I'm like, oh yes, I'm so glad that she is getting hoarse, because this foolishness that she is over here spewing, that's the reason why she's getting hoarse. And for all of you all that are wishing and saying that, it's going to be all right. I'm going to agree with you all on that, but just want to give you a little heads up. Now, speaking of heads up, what do you all think about this? Are men expecting women to be traditional while they are modern? Are men expecting traditional women while they're being modern men? So example of that would be, is, are men expecting women to, go to work, cook, clean, and do all this other stuff, be submissive and all this and that, and still they turn around and then they want to do the modern men, be 50-50? Is that what we got going on? Like, how do you guys feel about that? So men expecting women to be traditional and do traditional things, but then they come and they're doing modern things. What do you all think about that? Or is there no such, is that just a piece of bull junkie from social media and just another ploy to keep us further apart? Is that a ploy? Is that a tactic that is being used? Or is that really something real? Is that really real? The traditional woman versus traditional men, versus modern men, modern women. Is that really a real situation? Or again, is that part of like some type of agenda to constantly keep confusion amongst each other? Now, here's the thing. You have every right to want what you want, but we have to be, let's be real, and we have to be realistic. Like, if you want her to pay half of the bills and 50-50, because here's the thing, let's be honest about this. In today's society, there is so much, prices of, eggs cost $4. So it is expensive to live in this life alone. So if you have two incomes, and it's going to be better for you all to go 50-50, let's go 50-50. Let's look. We got to stop sweating the small stuff. This is 2024. Do you see how much? Do you see? Are you all looking at what's going on in the world? Pretty soon, listen, you going to need to have a whole family going to be needed to live in one house. Michelle is saying yes. You have to go. Thank you so much for your condolences, Michelle. You're gonna have to live in more than one. People are gonna have to live more than one family. Is gonna have to live in a household. Look at how expensive things are. It's so expensive. So if you're doing 50-50, it's okay. Because the situation in the day and time that we're living in. Guys, hold on one second. We have a call. Okay. Hey, caller, thank you for calling the J Spot. This is Jay. State your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Jay, it's Gypsy. And yes, I wanted to say that, yes, we have these men who want to be, they want to be like Grandpa, where they kind of like got whatever they got going on in the street and all that other stuff. But yet they don't want to pay the bills that Grandpa paid. Grandpa paid all the bills.
Yes, he did.
Grandpa paid all the bills, took care of 2 households. Yeah, he might have had a family around the corner, but he took care of both of them, right? And so the thing is you want to do what Grandpa did, but you don't, I mean, as far as the street part, but you don't want to do what Grandpa did as far as take care of the house.
Exactly.
And you want me to pay 50% of the bills, but yet you still want to run the street. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Well, thank you so much for your call, Gypsy. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your support. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Take care, honey.
Take care.
Bye-bye. I'm with that. As Gypsy said, listen, a lot of guys today, they want the benefits of how Grandpa lived. They want the benefits of Grandpa's lifestyle, but they don't want to do the things that Grandpa did to get those benefits. As Gypsy said, Grandpa was taking care of his family, and even if he was a Rolling Stone and he had another family, you know, me and Mrs. Jones got something going on the other side of town. Listen, he was taking care of Mrs. Jones on the other side of town as well. We're not doing that today. That's not happening today. But again, when we look at it, like really look at it, we're going back. So I'm not even mad at the men that would say, listen, you know what, we got to do 50-50. But like, let's sit down and let's structure this so we can find out what works for our family. Because I will say this, I don't believe that there's a one-size-fit-all solution. Every family is different. Every relationship is different. Every marriage is different. This person may be able to stay at home. You know, he may be able to have a stay-at-home wife, and you may not have to work or do anything. Or where another couple, listen, you know what? She can work part-time because I want her at home when the kids get out of school. Every relationship and every marriage is different. So we have to stop falling for the fights that are being put on social media to pit us against each other, because again, there is no right and wrong answer. You have to do what absolutely works for you and your family. That is what you do. That is what is best, not what I say is what's best, or not what this person says is what's best. You have to do what is best for you and your family. You cannot do that. You have to do, again, what is works for your family. That's it. What works for you, because what works for me may not work for you. But sometimes we got to detach from what these popular opinions are and the things that are being posted that will cause us to, you know, go back and forth with each other. Because let's be honest, if we keep on going back and forth with these social media arguments and all this other stuff, listen, there are going to be no marriages. There are going to be, let me rephrase that. There are going to be no black marriages. There will be no black relationships, because we are the ones that are falling for the entire foolery. We are the ones that are falling for this foolishness. I listen. If a man, if he ain't getting my nails done, oh girl, sit down and shut up. Like, we are so past getting your nails done. Listen, if you need somebody to get your nails done, you should not be worried about dating. If you need somebody to get your hair done, you should not be dating, because you're getting on my nerves talking about that. Okay, so I know when you talking to these brothers, you're getting on his nerves, because let me let you all in on a little secret for the ones, and I think that these are just like for the new people. Listen, a man is going to do for you what he wants to do for you. The man that wants you, you're not going to have to ask him for anything. He's going to do it if you're the one that he wants. But if you're not the one he wants, he's not going to do it. He's not. Why should he? You're not who he's checking for. He's going to do what he wants to do for the woman that he is interested in doing that for. So we cannot be upset and we can't be mad, and stop asking for, like, stop begging for stuff. Did they tell you quit begging? How you doing, Jerk Soul? Thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate it. We got to stop that, because again, a man that wants you, when you're his person, you're going to know that you're his person. You don't have to be pushy and forceful and all this and that. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is sit back and be the woman that he's attracted to. But if you're not that, if you're not his person, that's why he's not getting your hair done. That's why he's not getting your nails done, because you're not his person. You're not his person. That's just flat out. You're not his person. Anything that a man can do, if he is in position financially to do those things and you're his person, he's going to do that. Gypsy, you're saying thirsty folks are not attractive. Absolutely. And begging, neither are begging folks. The worst thing I hate to see is somebody begging, a lady begging a man to do anything, because it's not necessary. You don't have to go trying to cuss him out and you better do this and you're not going to get nothing. Keep telling the man what he better do and see how fast nothing gets done. Nothing will get done. You keep telling him what he better do. You better go and have like a seat, because he's not, this man, a grown man, will leave your behind alone for the way you talking to him. And that's another thing. We got to get better. Listen, the way I've seen some of these ladies, the way you all talk to these brothers. Listen, I've been embarrassed to even overhear some of these conversations. I'm just like, whoa, did she really just say this to this man? I'm like, oh Lord, they're going to listen. They're going to need an ambulance. She keep on talking like this. This brother is going, and some of us will just keep on pushing, just saying it, just poking at him. Let's not do that. So my opinion, and fellas, let me know, like, if I'm wrong about this or am I right on the money with this. For a woman that you want and that you want to be with, and the finances are there, and even if the finances are not there, a man that wants a woman is going to make a way to do what needs to be done for her. Not because you telling him to do it. He's going to do it not because he's obligated to do it. That's where a lot of women too today. That's why you don't get the stuff, because you feel like he's obligated to do it. He's not obligated to do anything. If he does it, then he does it. Well, if I'm sleeping with him, well, listen, if you sleeping with him, that's the choice that you decided to make. Now, if there was a price tag with your hoochie, you should tell him, listen, okay, listen, you got to tell him, I'm a civilized hooker, okay? Listen, start telling these brothers this. I have sex for money, but I don't like to be considered a prostitute. I don't think that I'm a prostitute,
Okay, I listen. You just gotta start telling them the price tag for my hoo-ha is whatever price tag you set on it. I can't tell you how much to charge. It's your thing, and you can charge whatever you want to charge for it. You just can't get mad at the brothers if they choose not to pay the price that you charge it for. But I don't have a problem with you letting them know. Listen, you see this thing right here? This here, this ain't free. You thought that? This gonna cost you, my love. It may cost you a little. It may cost you a lot. But this here thing right here, baby, this is gonna cost you. Listen, start letting these brothers know this. Look, I'm not mad at you for doing that. Let them know. Let them know, like they used to say back in the day. You got to pay to play. You got to let them know that. If they choose to go forward, now they going forward. It's not because you're obligated, but now you're letting them know you are about to sign the coochie contract because I let you know that you had to pay to play. So now you ready to play. Now you got to pay. So listen, fellas, if you are ever told that, you cannot get in your feelings because she told you that. Whether you thought she was serious or not, she told you. Now you have signed the coochie contract, so now you have to make good on it. Are you obligated to pay it? Yes, you are, because you made that agreement. You said, well, this thing right here, yeah, this thing look good enough to pay for right now. So now when you get there and if you experience it and you figure, listen, this wasn't worth, this ain't worth paying for two, and you got buyer's remorse, too bad, so sad. You should have tried to work out some type of agreement with her to see if you can just get a sample of it without having to pay for it. You see what I'm saying? Get a little sample of it, but you didn't get a sample. You went full-fledged in. So now you got to pay. So ain't nothing wrong with that if that's what she chooses to do. But ladies, you cannot get out here and be expecting these men to pay or like they owe you something because they don't. Gypsy said, I don't ever want to feel like I owe anyone anything. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, men don't want to feel that way either. So instead of jumping right into things, let's slow it down and have a conversation. So now if you make a deal, then you are expected to keep up with your part of the bargain. You are expected to keep up with that because she told you. But now, if she didn't tell you, then, listen, you go ahead on and proceed forward and say, you know what, listen, I didn't know that this is what this was about. I didn't think that we were doing that. I thought that we were dating and getting to know each other. But if it's a price tag on your hoo-ha, you need to let these brothers know that it's a price tag, and you let them know, what your price is. And, if they down with it, then knock themselves out. But by all means, we got to stop expecting all of this craziness. If you're trying to be in a relationship and you're trying to be in a healthy relationship and you're trying to be in love, you cannot be doing that. We gotta do better, and we gotta be careful for falling into these pits of these conversations and situations and scenarios that are designed to keep us down, which will lead to our next hot topic, talking about keeping us down. What do you guys think about this? Is there a such thing as dating down? So women are saying, I make X amount of money. I have this type of position, corporate position. I have this, I have that. And if I date a man and I make more money than that man, then I'm dating down. Ladies, do you guys feel like that? Is that an accurate assessment of dating today? Or do you view men as dating down if you make more money than they make?
is that considered dating down? Because for me, I thought that when dating, like, I thought it was about what that man, what you guys bring and do for each other. And here's another divisive thing that is just keeping black men and black women apart, dating down. So for me, when I hear dating down, I don't think that dating a man that makes less money is dating down. I don't think that, because I think that dating up or dating down, I think that, to me, it's a matter of character. It's a matter of what type of dude you are. That's for me. Would I say that it's advisable? I would say, listen, check the dude out, because here I'll say this. The reason why I would say check the dude out and see how he is, because sometimes a guy, his ego can get in the way, and it can be a not so good situation if a woman is making a certain amount of money, barring that she doesn't have, see here, okay, so many levels. So if a woman is making so woman A, she's making a certain amount of money, and the guy that she's dealing with, he's making less money, but she's not trying to run over him, and she's not trying to boss him around because she's making more money. I can see that situation working. So therefore, she's not making him feel as though he's less than because she's making more money. Like, they have a balanced relationship, that marriage is balanced and is healthy, because there are no clashes of ego. There are no clashes of personality. So that would be situation A. That situation is not dating down because she happens to make more money. That's not dating down. The next situation, you got the same woman, she's making more money, but she is throwing that in the man's face, and she's acting as though he's less than because she's making more money. Again, that's not dating down, but that would be a situation where I would feel like, you know what, that's probably not a good relationship to be in, because it's toxic. Because now she wants to be the man in the relationship, and now it's causing a conflict because of the personality. So it's not so much as the money, but it's how the woman that's making the money, is how she's behaving and how she's treating the man, and she's acting as though, he has no value because she has more money. Now, the next situation C, she could be making the money, making all the money, and she's humble with it, and she's fine, yet he's still insecure because she's making more money. So again, that's another situation that will not be a good fit, because now it's not her, it's him. So you have a lot of guys out here that this situation C is very common. Like, the woman is in her bag, but she's not flaunting the fact that she's in her bag, but he finds out what's in her bag. Now he's insecure because he doesn't have as much in his bag as she has in her bag. Now it's a problem. So you got to be careful of that. So in any situation, do I think that there's a such thing as dating down? I do think that there's a dating down, but the situation where I will feel like there's a dating up and a dating down is character wise. If you're this type of person and you carry yourself this type of way, but then you have some person that they carry themselves the total opposite, and it does not compliment you, the way they carry themselves, it makes you look bad. You got people looking like, dang, why are they together? Look at how he talked to her. Look at how she treat him. Look at how she act. Look at how, to me, that would be an example of dating down. But when you come to finances and money, I don't think that money determines whether a person dates up or dates down. Gypsy is saying dating is different. I will date someone in a different salary station, but marrying someone who makes less is probably a no. And now that's a true feeling, and it's a true assessment, because when you're coming together again, it's just like, man, if you got certain things that you're trying to achieve, and getting married is, to build and to go forward. But the only way I would give a little pushback with that is, I'm just like, okay, if you're a woman and you are a builder, and the guy that you're with, or your husband to be, and he has some good ideals, and he's a hard worker, and he just hasn't found that push, or he hasn't had the encouragement, but he has the desire, or he doesn't have all the tools. Why can't now you come together? When you guys come together, you're supposed to come together and be a force, because whatever I know, he's gonna know. Whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna make sure he knows how to do it, so we can both be able to sustain our households, and we can both be able to sustain our future. So if I'm over here building this way, then for me, that's one of the things that I like to ask and I like to talk about in the dating phase. So listen, for me, I like to talk about money. I like to talk about goals in the beginning. Here's why: because if you got somebody that's a hustler, that's on their grind, and then you got somebody that is fine with their 9 to 5, that might not be a good match, because the person that is a grinder, they're going to always be grinding and working to find the next thing. And it can get kind of frustrating when you have someone that's not a grinder. They're just content with what they're doing at their job. And that's okay. I'm not saying that it's not a good thing to have a job. I'm saying that it could become a bit of a conflict if you have the grinder constantly trying to push the person that is fine working their job. So we got to be careful. And these are the things we got to talk about in the beginning. Like, let's talk about this. What kind of, what kind of personality do you have? What do you have? How are you looking at things? What are your goals? Where do you see yourself in the next 2 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years? What is your plan for your family legacy? What does that look like? Ask those type of questions so that you can figure out what type of person you're dealing with, so that you can see if they're going to be compatible and they're going to be able to go on the journey with you. But dating up and dating down, in my opinion, should not be based upon money. It should not be based upon, oh, well, he make this amount of money, she make this amount of money, he can't, I don't think that it should be based upon that, but a lot of people will base it upon that. But for me, it should be what type of character that person has, and that will determine if they're gonna, if they're a date, if they're up, or if they're a date down. Because again, if that person is not complimenting you, complimenting your lifestyle, complimenting you as a person, like, I want my partner to be a reflection of me, because when we're not together, I'm representing him and he represents me. So if I know I'm a certain type of way, but then I got some raggedy, low budget dude that's some type of way, just all disrespectful, and just, now that's dating down. You making me look bad. So anything that makes me look bad is a date down. The same way for the fellas. If you sitting up here, you this type of way, and your girl, she a certain type of way, she a ratchet ball, listen, as soon as a good song, popular song, come on, she busting out in a twerk in front of your whole family. Listen, that is a date down. You say that for at home, especially when you a certain age and your knees don't work a certain way. Listen, I'm telling y'all, look, when we was at the concert, look, these 40, 30 plus, you well past twerking in public years, okay? This lady was just, I just said, Lord, give me a pass so I can just slam a lamb pie in this chick face. I'm so sick of her twerk. I'm like, listen, ma'am, it's ridiculous now. We're tired of seeing you twerk. We get it. We get it. You're outside
and you're thirsty for attention, but we're tired of seeing you. So that she would be an example of somebody that's looking bad, because if she got a dude and you out here doing all that, I'm good. Fam, send her back to where she came from. So dating down and dating up, for me, it's not about the money, but it's about the personality and the type of person that they are. That to me will determine if you're in a situation where there's a dating up or a dating down. But it's not the money for me. But for, again, the way things are going in today's society, everything is definitely financially pushed. So the today's narrative for dating up and dating down is definitely based upon the amount of money that the man is making and he's bringing. And if a woman is making more money, then it definitely tends to look like she is dating down. Would I advise a woman that's making more money than a man? Would I advise that type of relationship? I'm going to say it's a case by case situation, because again, it depends on, first of all, who she is as a woman. What type of woman is she? Because if she's that woman that is a boastful woman that, okay, listen, I got my money, your money is your power, your money make you better than everybody, then you probably won't be a good a good woman to date a man that makes less money than you, because you're not going to do anything but tear him down. And I feel like people like that, they tear people down naturally anyway. So if you know that you are a woman that tears down and don't build up, then that probably won't be an ideal situation or ideal relationship. If you're a man that is sensitive about the amount of money that you make and you can't deal with women that make more money than you, then that probably will not be a beneficial, relationship for you either. So it just depends on the people involved. It depends on the personalities. It depends upon the attitudes, because again, if he's making the less money, and maybe the family, listen, because let's be real, some people, family, girl, you making all that money, and Sylvester over there eating off of her. Listen, Sylvester over there living off Lynn. You're going to have to deal with all of that. Y'all going to have to deal with all of that. Even though you're not saying it, you as a couple, y'all got to be strong enough to, withstand all of this, the talk that will definitely come. Because it may not even be you guys talking about this. She may not even be acting like that. But when you get other people involved and they get to getting in your ear, if they got in his ear, so now he's feeling some type of way because everybody knows that she makes more money. Now he mad. Now he got rocks in his jaws. Listen, sir, you cannot be mad and have rocks in your jaws because the people, your family knows that your wife make more money than you. As long as she's not treating you some type of way, as long as she's not disrespecting you, then it shouldn't matter what other people say or what other people think about you and your relationship. It should be just about the two of you all. So if you are in that type of situation, this is a time where you guys are going to have to just come together and not listen to what outside forces are going to say, because this is a situation, baby, that people are going to talk. We listen, just be honest. People are going to talk. But as long as you guys stick with each other and don't allow that to creep in, then you will be fine. But if you're the type of people that that, like, man, what my family says, man, it really means a lot. You just gotta be, man, you just gotta have some thick skin. And sir, if you know that you are not a dude that has thick skin, and you know that type of stuff will get to you, then that's probably not the relationship to get in. But I would say start with just keeping y'all business at home. Your business and your marriage and your relationship should not be up for grabs for everybody. You got to keep that between you and that person that you're with. But a lot of times, listen, let's be honest, we be sitting up there, girl, yeah, Tony is not, yeah, Tony lost his job, girl. And I'm sitting up here, I done been paying a mortgage for the past 6 months. Listen, now see, you done went out there and told all Tony's business. So now Tony gonna be sitting up here looking all crazy, looking funny because you done told all his business and you got him looking bad because you've been telling y'all business. So stop telling everybody y'all business, and I think everybody should be fine. So leave Tony business out of leave Tony business out the conversation. But speaking of business and conversations, oh, now you all listen. What do you all think about this? How do you deal with your best friend constantly messaging your spouse or significant other? They texting them, they always texting them or messaging them on social media. Your best friend always contacting your significant other. How would you feel about that? Or would you say, you know what, Jay, I don't mind. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my twin, and they always messaging your spouse. Listen, it's not a good idea. Leave people alone. Listen, go find your own. That's why you can't find nobody, because you always sniffing up behind somebody else's person. Does that make you insecure because you don't want your best friend messaging your significant other? I don't think it makes you insecure. What are you messaging each other for? Like, what are we talking about? What are you talking about each and every day? To me, and that's just to me, it's inappropriate. Unless they're like, are they business partners? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I can't think of any reason why I would need to message any one of my friends, associates, my siblings, in-laws. I can't think of any reason why I would have to, reach out to somebody's person on a consistent basis. If we're putting something together for that person, that's, exceptions are made when it's like certain things coming up, situations where there's a reason for us to be talking. But if there's no reason for us to be talking, why are we texting each other or messaging each other every day? Good morning. I just wanted to see how you were doing. Why? Why? That's what they got a husband or a wife for. Why are you messaging them, best friend? Why are you being a thorn in my relationship or my marriage? That's what I would be asking. I don't know. Again, does that make a person insecure because they don't want you doing it? No. Go find you some business. See, that's the problem. You don't have any business. That's why you over there messaging your friend's significant other, because you don't have no business. So when you find you some business and get you a significant other, then I'm sure you're going to stop messaging your friend's significant other. So you got to be careful. And y'all, look, stop being so trusting, thinking that she wouldn't do that to me. Okay. Because see, people looking for the right opportunity just to blame it on the alcohol. Girl, oh my God, Sheila, I'm so sorry. I had too much to drink. All that. I mean, girl, you lied, wench. You lied. You've been setting this up since the beginning. And you think that by saying you drunk, I'm so sorry. You know how I get when I get drunk. Well, why you get drunk and then come over my house and you know I wasn't there? Why you get drunk? Why did you get drunk? So y'all got to be careful for that, because listen, you got to watch people. You got to watch them real good. So you just got to do like this and just watch them. Watch these people. Watch these people around your man. Watch these people around your woman. I mean, like I said, yeah, they best friend and all. Yeah, yep, all that good stuff. But let's not let our guards down, and let's not be real. Like, situations happen, and I'm not saying that you want to think that your friend or your spouse, they would do this. But again, sometimes situations happen, and then now you find yourself in a crazy situation, and you don't want to be in that situation where you would now potentially lose your mate or even your best friend. Pretty Tasha is saying, honestly, I wouldn't want my best friend to message my significant other because it's disrespectful. Absolutely, because again, I don't understand why are we messaging
What are we messaging for? What are we messaging for? Unless we're planning something special for you, then there's no reason for us to be talking on a personal basis. And even if we are planning something specifically for you, then we're going to get some other people involved and we're going to make it a group conversation. But there's no reason for us to be sitting having these personal, consistent solo conversations. You shouldn't, your friends should not be reaching out to your significant other about their relationship problem. Oh, let me tell you about my husband. Let me tell you, we both married, so I don't see nothing wrong with it. I do, because you over there having problems with your marriage. So now you're going to bring it over here in my marriage because you talking to my man about your marriage problems when you need to be talking to your husband about your marriage problems. Don't call my man talking to my man about nothing, okay? Don't call my man talking to him about your business, your problems with your boo, and especially don't let her be single, but she dating and flying through all these men. My husband will not be the next man you flying through. Okay, so kind of nip that in the bud. Now, some of y'all might say, Jake, that is so insecure. You can call it what you listen, call it what you want to. But don't put yourself in position where you have to get that call from your friend. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, girl, oh my God, I can't believe it. I drunk this much. And, oh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do it. I love you. We've been friends since grammar school, wench. Bye, you dirty wench. Okay? Because all that ain't going to mean nothing. Nothing. That class, that second grade friendship is gonna go out the window the moment you act like you made a mistake and slept with her man. The moment the dude act like he made a mistake and slept with his boy's baby mama, all that is going out the door. So we are not listening to this foolishness. So again, just tread lightly. Again, does that make you insecure? I don't believe it makes you insecure. But here's the thing. Would you rather be insecure and not get cheated on with your best friend and your mate? Or would you rather, oh, I'm all trusting and then you get cheated on. Now your heart broke. Now you turned upside down. Now you don't know what to do because you was too trusting. So you have to make a decision on that. But as for me, don't call my man. Don't call him. Don't text him. We're not doing none of that. What you got to talk to him about that you can't talk to me about? That's how I just feel like you going to talk to me. You going to talk to who your friend is. Pretty Tasha is saying, Sister J, there is a young woman as my Facebook friend that caught her ex-husband messing around with her massage therapist and some so-called wishy-washy friend. She confronted and had filed for a divorce. He got caught giving the money to those women and they were texting each other. That's what I'm saying. The foolishness be real. And no doubt she thought that she had her friend. And look, your friend was all up in your business with your man. First of all, why do the friend even have the man's information? Don't listen. Do not be a friend with my man on social media unless you knew him before me. Don't go so now we in a relationship. Don't go requesting my man as no friend because I'm gonna be looking at you sideways. So like, why y'all friends on social media? What you his friend for? What you like? Me. Do not. Don't message my man. Don't message my boo. Listen, whatever I want you to know about him, I'm gonna tell you about it. If I don't want you to know, I'm not telling you jack squat, and don't you dare go and request them as a friend on none of these social media sites because I don't understand. What are you following him from? I would never follow. I'm not following any of my friends. Men, I don't care. Like, I don't care what they got going on. I don't want to be your friend. I don't like, that's not, to me, that's overstepping your bounds. Like, you have no reason to be in somebody's relation. That's you doing too much. Listen, little miss do too much. Get out these folks' relationship. Stop putting yourself in other people's relationships and putting themselves in you're doing too much. Like, why on earth would you friend your mate's friend, their significant other? It's just not a good look. Now, speaking of not a good look, If you're in a relationship, is it cool to go 24 hours without speaking to your significant other? Oh, we're about to catch some people right now. So listen, is it cool? Listen, it's been all day and I haven't heard from you. You haven't heard from me. We haven't heard from each other. Is that cool? And it's not just it's a one time deal. This is a consistent thing. It's consistently. We can go 24 hours without hearing from each other. Is that okay? Now I know some people are going to get on here and say, "Oh my God, that is too much. Oh, that is so insecure." Is it really? I look at it like this. If the president of the United States had time to go on social media and Twitter and tweet and do all this other foolishness, you mean to tell me out of 24 hours, you don't have 3 to 5 minutes just for a conversation? So 3 to 5 minutes every day, you don't have time. You don't have time for a 30-second text message and say, where are you? Good morning. I'm not going, I'm gonna be busy today, whatever the case may be. Ruben, oh wait, I'm on YouTube. Ruben said, why are you yelling? Because I can. And then No Payment said, no, okay, Karen. I'm not sure who Karen is, but tell her I said hi, No Payments. But it's 24 hours, like communication is a big thing. Because if you can go 24 hours, again, I'm not saying that, listen, we have to have time to sit up and be on the phone and talk all day long, all day long. We talking all day. No, because I'm too big. Nobody has time for that unless you are in grammar school or high school, but if you are and you the 30 plus age range, nobody has time to sit and talk on the phone all day, text on the phone all day. Like nobody has time for that. But in 24 hours, if that person means something to you and you locked in with them, why would you want 24 hours to go without you having talked to them or having some type of communication with them? Because I'm going to tell you this, 24 hours is going to turn into 48 hours. 48 hours is going to turn into a week. A week going to turn into 2. 2 weeks going to turn into a month. And so it's going to continuously escalate until you get to the point where there's no connection. Because let me know if I'm wrong, guys, but communication is a part of keeping the connection there. So if there's no connection, then if there's no communication, then how are you connected to a person? How are you connected with no communication? So somebody got to help me understand that. How are you connected if there's no communication? So I would say that going 24 hours without having some type of communication with your significant other, for me, that's a red flag. And it's not a good thing, because again, in my opinion, it's only going to escalate. That 24 hours is only going to turn into more time. Because listen, one thing, fellas, if you think that is hurting her, I'm going to say this. It'll hurt her in the beginning, but once you do it so much, she's going to be adjusted to it. She's going to become accustomed to it. And now once it stops hurting, you no longer matter. The situation no longer matters. She no longer has anything for you. Like, she's no longer invested in the relationship. She's no longer invested in you. She's no longer all in. Because the moment a woman stops complaining about you talking to her or spending time with her, you've lost her. She may still be there because emotionally, yes, she still loves you, but the moment she sees somebody and somebody starts to give her that attention, it's going to be easy for her to leave you alone because she was already gone. Emotionally, you had already pushed her away. And the same thing with fellas. But the thing is about the men, they not gonna hold on that long. You keep on going these 24 hours without talking to a dude, you are going to be single, blocked and single. They will cut you off real quick. So this I think is more so geared towards women, where women we are in that situation where the men are going this long amount of time without talking to you, and then you're like, okay, dang, it's been 24 hours and I haven't heard from them. You think you ghost, and then they hit you up the next day. And for those people that say, yeah, the phone it's a two-way, it works two ways. Absolutely. So what if she texts him and then you don't get a text back or a call back that in that 24-hour span, but you hear from them the next day? That's still 24 hours have went by and you haven't heard from them. So in my opinion, those hours and going without talking to the person that's supposed to be your person, for me, I'm going to sum it up as to say, you know what? I'm not your person. Because if you can go 24 hours consistently, 24 hours without talking to me, then I'm not your person. And I'm okay with that. I can accept that. Again, it may be hard to accept in the beginning because you wanted to be locked in and you wanted to be their person. But once they keep showing you and showing you and showing you that you're not their person, then you have to make some decisions and start to move on and do what is best for you. But guys, listen, tonight it's time to transition. Boop, boop, boop. Transition into our topic for tonight, guys. Tonight we're talking about grudges versus forgiveness. Now listen, I'm gonna say this as we go through this show tonight. I'm gonna talk to y'all, but I'm gonna listen to some of the stuff that I'm saying too, because this one is really a good one for me. Because you talk about grudges and forgiveness. Am I a grudge? So here's the thing: am I a grudge holder? Are you guys a grudge holder? And let's just talk about, first of all, what a grudge is. So, according to an online source, a grudge is a persistent feeling of ill will or resentment resulting from a past insult or an injury. It's an ill will of resentment resulting from a past insult or injury. So that's what a grudge is. So you have something against somebody because of, a lot of times, because of something that they did to you. Whether they did it knowingly or unknowingly, this is a feeling, and it's a persistent feeling that you have towards that person. And guys, this is definitely so powerful, because here's the thing. This is how our past hurts and pains are still alive and relevant in our present, because somebody could have did something to you when you were a kid, and if they never apologized to you, if they never righted their wrong, then guess what? You're gonna hold on, and that dislike is gonna turn into resentment because you held on to it for so long, because they hurt you. Again, whether they knew it or not, but it's going to stick with you. So my thing is this: do you hold grudges? Are you a person that holds grudges? Guys, if you want to talk to me, my number is 708-223-8953. Again, the number is 708-223-8953. Do you hold grudges? Jay, do you hold grudges? I used to hold grudges. I used to be a grudge holder. I really did. And that's until I learned that holding grudges didn't hurt the other person. It hurt me. It was, it was stressful and it was weighing me down. But here's what I had to also determine when holding grudges and deciding to let that go. And I think that this may help a lot of people. See, here's the thing. You don't have to hold a grudge. But it's okay to dislike people. I'm going to say that again. It's okay to dislike people. But you don't have to hold a grudge against them. So I'm like, listen, sir, with all due respect, I I just don't like you. I don't want you around me. I don't want you in my space. And it's all love. If you're not in my space, if you're not next to me, I don't want your energy, anything around me, because I just don't like you. I don't like you as a person. You're just a nasty little person. You're just a little meanie, or whatever reason that you don't like a person. I feel it's okay to stand 10 toes down in that, as long as you don't have any ill will or resentment towards them. Because let's be honest, some people are a trip, a TRIP. Some people are a trip, and they do some messed up, tripped out things. And so, do you have to accept the messed up, tripped out things that people do? Absolutely not. And you have a right to not like a person, but just be careful and don't let that turn into you holding a grudge against that person. Now, here are a few signs that you are holding a grudge. The first sign is the thought or mention of that person causes you to feel negative in some type of way. So listen, they can say, listen, Billy Bob, and you just, ooh, this such and such make me so, ooh, I could just, chances are you holding a grudge. The next one is you can't stop thinking about what that person may have said or done to you. Oh, Billy, oh, I can't believe that nasty some said this and said. Chances are you're holding a grudge. The next one is you do your best to avoid that person. That's a sign that you that you may hold a grudge. Now, again, the difference between this and just simply acknowledging that you don't like a person is this. You cannot like a person, and if they're not in your presence, you're not even thinking about them. They don't even come to mind. Somebody can say their name, it has no effect on you. But it's like when you're in their presence, then you're like, "Ooh, child, let me go ahead on, because I know I don't like this person." Now, that's not a grudge. You just don't like them, and you don't have to be around that. You don't have to be around that type of energy, and you don't have to be around that type of person. And I think that is healthy for us to acknowledge, listen, you're not going to like everybody. Acknowledge that and move on. Like, acknowledge that you don't like this person. You don't really rock with this person. This person ain't your cup of tea, and move on. But like, if they're not in your presence, you're not thinking about them. If somebody says their name, you don't go get all upset and all this other stuff. They're not a factor. When they're not a factor to you, then that's the part that, you just don't like them, and you're not holding a grudge. But the difference between not liking them and holding a grudge, in my opinion, I believe, is because when they are not in your presence, you still thinking about something that they said or something that they did. You still thinking about it. Now that messes you up. Pretty Tasha, you're saying, yes, when I get betrayed, I just stay away from the person. Honestly, I won't even say, hey, if I see them. I learned to feed them with a long hand spoon. Now, my thing is this. I'm a speaker. Even if I don't like somebody, I'm gonna speak. Because again, I don't hold a grudge with you. I don't like you, but I can still be respectful. That's how I am. Like, I can still be respectful. Now, listen, it's certain people, like, when I know I don't like them, listen, if someone done tried to come in, try to hug you, you got to listen, no. No, sir, there will be no hugs up in here today, because listen, honestly, I don't rock with you like that. So I don't want you to hug me. Don't want you to touch me. But how you doing today? And we're going to leave it at that. So I'm a speaker, but I'm not going to, we're not going to sit up there and have no long drawn out conversation. But if I see you, I'm not going to try to avoid you. I'm not going to go out of my way to avoid you, because again, I'm not holding a grudge against you. So if you're not holding grudges, so you just gotta kind of be mindful, because again, holding grudges, it only hurts the person that is holding the grudge. The person, and you letting the people live rent free in your mind. Like, you don't like them for some reason, and they have no idea about it, don't care about it, and they just living their best life. They could care less how you feeling. They don't, 9 times out of 10, they probably don't know that you feel that way. But if you tell somebody that you don't like them and you don't mess with them like that, now that opens up, now you put it on them. And so again, do you have to tell them that you don't like them? You don't have to. But as long as it's for you. Acknowledge where you are with people and then move accordingly, because a lot of times some people, they know that they don't like people, but they try to pretend, oh, well, I'm Christian and I want to be right. Yeah, you want to be right and you don't want to hate that person. But I haven't read where it's not okay for you to dislike somebody because they are a mess. You are a hot, raggedy mess. I don't like you. I don't like your wicked, hot mess ways. But I wish you well, but I don't like you. And I can think of a few people that I have in that category. I don't like you, but if I hear that something did happen or you're not well, I want to wish you well, because I don't want nothing to happen to you. I just don't want you in my space. But I want you to be good in your space. So wherever you are that is not around me, I want you to be well, beloved, in that area. You ain't got to be over here with me. You don't have to be over here, but I'm not going to wish any ill will on you, because again, it's not, holding a grudge is not going to benefit you. It's just a waste of time. I mean, it consumes you, because again, you're constantly thinking and looking and looking over your shoulder and all of this other stuff, and just wasting too much time on them. And that's the thing you got to realize, is you wasting too much precious time and too much precious energy on something or somebody that should not really matter that much to you. Pretty Tasha, you're saying some people will do you wrong knowing they wrong, and they will try to buddy back up with you again, wanting to be your friend, acting like they never did nothing. And I cannot stand that. Neither can I. And it's just like, my thing is this: once people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. I've had people fall out with me and have said such nasty things to me, and I'm just like, I could go back and say something, but I'm just like, okay, so now I see how you feel. I'm glad that you got that off of your chest. Now I know how you are. Now I know where you stand and how you've always stood and how you felt. Now stand on that. Stand in it. I'm okay with that. I can respect that. I can respect how you feel and respect that. Listen, you could never be in my circle again. You could never come around me again, because now I know that you were never really a friend. Because when you fall out with people, or just they go and say all of these crazy things, and you just like, when you look at, anytime you look at a person, you be like, dang, where'd that come from? Like, geez, like they read you the entire, baby, they read you the entire riot. They done read you your history from first grade through college. And you just like, wait, what? You sitting there dumbfounded? Stay away from them people. Don't let them come back. Don't let them come back, because they've always felt that way. Those are the type of people that smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Them backstabbers, listen, you got to let those folks stay over there. You got to let them stay over there. And so when people do you wrong and don't do right by you, and Pretty Tasha, when they try to come back and they act like they haven't done anything to you, you don't have to let them back in your circle. You don't have to let them back close to you. But what you should do is forgive them. You got to forgive. Now, what is forgiveness, Jay? According to an online source, Forgiveness means that you've made peace with the pain and you're ready to let it go. I'm going to say that again. Forgiveness means that you have made peace with the pain and you're ready to let it go. They did not apologize, but you've made peace with that. They never acknowledged that they did anything wrong to you, but you've made peace with that. Or they may have broken up with you, never gave you closure, but now you see them in the street. Now they want to be your friend. You've made peace with that. You've made peace with whatever is paining you, whatever they've done, whatever somebody has done to you that has caused you pain. You have made peace with it. And now you're ready to let it go. And I will be honest, letting it go and making peace with it does not happen overnight. You got to make a decision that you want to let it go. You got to make a decision that you're making peace with it. And so each day that you make that decision, then you're going to take one step forward to moving in that direction and doing what you have to do and taking the steps to forgive that person, because forgiveness is for you. Dr. Maya Angelou called forgiveness one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself. And Gandhi named it the attribute of the strong. Again, Dr. Maya Angelou said, one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself is forgiveness. And Gandhi named it the attribute of the strong. So we got to get good at forgiving people, because again, the forgiveness is not for them. The forgiveness is for you. The forgiveness is for you to be able to move forward. The forgiveness is for you to not have a heavy heart. The forgiveness is for you to not be stuck in that pain. Even though people have done something to you and you deserve and you have a right to be upset. But we got to learn to forgive. And again, forgiveness is not, listen, it's not easy and it does not happen overnight. It's like learning how, when a baby learns how to walk, you got to take steps to it. Steps. It's steps to it. And then one day you'll look up and you'll be like, man, I'm there. Like, I don't feel this heaviness towards this person or about this situation. I've let this go. This no longer consumes me. This is no longer holding me down. This no longer has me in bondage. It no longer does that. It no longer has that power or that control over me. It no longer has that. It no longer has that over me, So you have to do what you have to do again to let it go, so that you can be happy, so that you can live in that now. You can live in that no. You can live in that. Gypsy has said, I have been guilty of holding grudges so long that I forgot why I had the grudge. So my sister Leanna is saying letting go is very hard. Forgiveness is even harder. Absolutely. Gypsy is saying forgiveness doesn't mean be stupid. I can forgive you but not deal with you ever again. And that is so true. So you got to let go. And again, you talk and you take the steps. As my sister was saying, it's hard. It is, listen, you talking to the grudge queen over here. Listen, but I'm just like, holding on to that stuff, man, it only hurts you. I'm telling you, there was a situation that I had held on to for so long. But when I let it go, oh my God, like I felt so light. How did I know I had let it go? Because I no longer felt the weight of the situation on me. I can think about it and I no longer felt heavy about it. It no longer, angered me. It no longer triggered me. And here's the thing. There are so many reasons. Jay, why should I forgive? They did this, they did that. Why should I forgive? Forgiveness reduces anger, stress, hurt, and depression. Forgiveness can improve physical health because you're less stressed and worried, so you don't have to worry about your blood pressure skyrocketing off the charts and all this and that. And as I just mentioned, forgiveness allows you to free yourself of hurt and pain. Forgiveness is for you. You forgive people not because they're sorry, not because they admitted to doing something to hurt you. You forgive them for you. You forgive them for your peace of mind. You forgive them for your health. You forgive them for just being in a good, so that you can be in a good place. Because the longer you hold on to those situations, the longer it's going to hurt you. The longer you rob yourself. So think about it like this. They've already hurt you. They've already hurt you. They're not sorry for it. They're not any of that. And you're holding on. So they've hurt you that way. And then you're holding on to it. So it's like they're getting a 2-for-1. They're hurting you, and then you're hurting yourself. They hurt you, and now you're hurting yourself because you have not forgiven them and let it go. So day by day, just work towards forgiveness. Jay, how do I work towards forgiveness? How do I forgive somebody? I say the biggest thing is to pray about the situation and ask God, ask him, Lord Jesus, please bless me to forgive this person. And if you can't keep it real with nobody else, you can keep it real with the Lord. Lord, you know I can't stand them. You know I can't. But I need you to help me to forgive them. I need you to help me to let it go, because it's what's best for me. So help me to let it go. And just pray that and talk to God every day and just work towards it. I'm not going to let this situation have power over me. This situation has no control over me. You got to say that every day and just little by little, it'll start chipping away. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And J is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Go to YouTube. Boop, boop, boop. Like and follow us there, thejspot.com. Also go to TikTok. Like and follow us there, the J Spot. Jaye. Turn on the notification bells for all platforms, guys. Thank you so much. It was good to be back. Until next time, you all take care of yourselves and each other. Peace out. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night, everybody. Good night, YouTube. Good night. Thank you.